everyone. Hello sir. My name is Achal Jadhav and my topic is research report writing. So let's see the introduction. Research report is the written way of communication, the result of an investigation. It is a document which reflects about how the research is conducted, the care that has been exercised throughout the study, and the findings is a manner that can be utilized for decision making. Then next one is definition. Definition is given by Lancasters. A report is a statement of collected and considered fact, so drawn up as to give clear and concise information to persons who are not already in possession of the full fact of the subject that matters the report. Then next one is meaning. The research report is a written document specify the purpose, scope, objective, hypothesis, methodology, findings, limitation, and finally recommendation of a research report to others. Then next one is characteristics of research report. The very first is accuracy. Information presented in a report, it should be very accurate. The report must present information as accurately as possible. Simplicity. A good report is written in a simple and use a simple language. It is a practical utility document, so it should be grammatically accurate and brief and clear. Then next one is clarity and competencies. The report should be complete in all the aspects. Clarity depends on the proper arrangement of facts. Fourth one is brevity. Executive do not find sufficient time to read lengthy reports, so the report should be briefly reflect in essential point. Then fifth characteristic is appearances. The arrangement, organization, format, layout and makeup of the report should be pleasing and as far as possible eye-catching. Comprehensibility and readability. A report must be ready to read and understand. They must avoid technical language as far as possible and grammatical correct English. Reliability. A report should be reliable and the fact presented in the report should be repeated. Relevant. The last one is economy. Report writing should not be a costly exercise. The most economical methods and standard quality must be employed while conveying the matter. Then importance of research report. Very first is conveyor of information. The research report is very important that reports serve as a conveyor of information through the organization. It means that management is able to establish channel of communication through which ideas, opinions and suggestions, orders or command flow in various directions. Second one is help management to review and evaluate office operation. A report help management to review and evaluate all the office operation continuously. Third one is tools for measuring performance. Reports are useful tools for measuring departmental performance. This help the management to assess the performance of each and every department. Then fourth one is a report help in making a desirable changes. Changes in business environment is very important. So changes in business environment pose a threat and challenge to business firm report as prepared to analyze the factor responsible for the changes. A report help in measuring the effectiveness of organization. Reports are prepared to measure the effectiveness of departmental operation, employees and management. Then the next one is types of research. There are three types: technical report, manuscript of journal articles and thesis of dissertation. So technical report, it means that in technical report the main emphasis is on the methods employed, assumption made in the courses of study, the detailed presentation of findings including their limitation and supporting data. Second one is manuscript of journal articles. When the report is presented in a specific layout or design for publishing, it is an academic or scientific journal. It is known as manuscript of for journal articles. Thesis and dissertation. The thesis and dissertation is a types of research report which is typically prepared by a student required for qualifying a master, a PhD or other higher degree. Then next one is ingredients of research report. The very first is title page. So what is exactly title page? This page includes the titles of the reports which must be short, specific and precise. The title must be explanatory, as its main function is to indicate what is the content in the research report. A well defined title immediately gets the prospective reader attention. The title page should be indicate the topic on which the report has been prepared, the person or agency who has prepared it, the person or agency for whom it has been agency, and the date of submission of the report. If it is intended for the attainment of some degree, it should also be specified on the title page. Then next one is content of table. Give a table of content. This list the decision points or sections as they appear in a report with their page references. The heading of the sections and the subsection in the table of content must corresponding to the heading in the report. The next is list of table and graphs. If tables and figures are used in the report, they are indicated separately with their page references. The next one is proposal and letter of authorization. The proposal contains the research objective, the research plan and the project cost and duration, including the proposal and recommend a letter of authorization in the research report refreshes management memory. Okay, as it may have been a few weeks of or even a month management memory months since the marketing manager authorized the project, and the letter of authorization is a better authorizing the research report which the researcher receive at the beginning of the research project. Then next one is executive summary. The good summary contain following are the aspects. The first one is scope of the marketing problem, research objective, a short term description of the sample and the data gathering methods. Then second one is result of the various elements of the study. Third one is interpretation of result, conclusion and findings, recommendation. And the sixth one is introduction. The main body of the research report must be given with the introduction. With an introduction, the introduction provides the readers with the background information depending on reader knowledge of the research project and the number of different readers of the project. The more deserve the readership, the more details of the information should be given. Seventh one is methodology. The objective of this section is to describe the research design, the sampling methods, and the method used for gathering and analyzing the data. The various methods must be clearly described without using too many technical terms, as it is important to use a terminology that the reader will understand. Not too much nor or too little detail should be given. Explanation of the complicated formulae and techniques should be appears in the annex. So in the methodology points, there are so many subsections are there. First one is research strategy, second one is data collecting method, third is sampling, fourth one is field work procedure, fifth one is analyzing, sixth one is result, limitation and shortcomings of the result and finding, conclusion वगैरह सगळं. Then seventh one is, these are the points which are coming under the methodology. Eighth one is conclusion and recommendation. Conclusion and recommendation. The conclusion are drawn by inference, either inducting or deducting from the findings. The conclusion verify or deny the premises or hypothesis upon which the investigation has been conducted. The recommendation concern the action to be taken follow the conclusion. Then last one is appendix. It provides a general material supplementary to those given in the body of the report. Generally, the appendix material contain detail and other expanded information, such as detailed computation from which the tables in the report are generated. A copy of the questionnaire used in gathering the data, interview instruction, detailed statistical table calculation used to support the sample size chosen, and so on. The next slide is stages in a report writing. There are 5 stages are coming. First is investigating the sources of information, taking notes, then analyze the data, then making the outlines and writing the reports. The very first point told us that investigating the source of information is a kind of a spade work. It is to be done right in the beginning. The extent of the investigation will of course decide the length and importance of the reports. Major sources of the information are company files, personal observation, interviews, letter, questionnaire and library research. So this is the first step. Then second step is taking notes. In the course of investigation, the writer keep on taking notes of analyzing that appears to be related to the subject. He might not be analyze them simultaneously, but the records them for the later use. As the writer keep turning them in his mind over and over again, a kind of a pattern start emerging, and he began to be clear about what is relevant and what is not. Then next one is making an outline. Once the final pattern of the report has taken shape in the writer's mind, he should prepare an outline to write the report. In this outline, the problem is stated, the facts are recorded, that they are briefly analyzed, and the logically conclusion is arrived. An outline is not essential, but it has been found extremely helpful in writing a systematic report. The next one is writing the reports. The last step is that of report writing is it will need a consult shuttling between the outline and the notes. First, a rough draw of report is prepared, then it is revised, pruned and polished. If the writer has some more time at his disposal, he will find it advantageous to come back to his rough draft after say a couple of days. This short interval will make revision really meaningful. The writers should also be careful that the language of the report is very simple, unambiguous, coherent and free from grammatical errors. Is how the time to type it out a proper form and submit it. So these are the 5 steps in report writing. So which guidelines for the report writing? There are 9 guidelines. First one is concise and complete. While determining the length of the report, One should keep in view the fact that it should be long enough to cover the subject but short enough to maintain interest. Keep it short and simple. Formula should be used. Then second one is maintain interest. Okay, a research report should not be dull. It should be such as to sustain readers' interest. Then next one is avoid technical jargons. Abstract terminology and technical jargons should be avoided in a research report. The report should be able to convey the matter as simply as possible. This in other orders, this in other words means that report should be written in an objective style in simple language, avoiding expression such as its theme, there may be, and the like. Then fourth one is explanatory. Readers are often interested in acquiring a quick knowledge of the main findings, and as such the report must provide a ready availability of findings. For this purpose, charts and graphs and statistical tables may be used for the various results in the main report in addition to the summary of the important findings. Then fifth one is objective layout. The layout of a report should be well thought out and must be appropriate and in accordance with the objective of the research problem, free from bias and errors. No, sixth one is logical presentation. The report must be present and logical analysis of the subject matter. It must be reflect a structure wherein the different pieces of the analysis are related to the research problem and fill it well. Then next seventh one is original and specific. The research report should be show originally and should necessary to be attempt to solve some technical intellectual problems. It must contain to be a solution of a problems and must be add to store the knowledge. Then eighth one is mention limits and constraint. Calculate confident limits must be mentioned, and the various countries experience is conducted. The research study may also be stated in the report. Then reflect the research duties, objective of the study, the nature of the problem, the methods employed, and the analysis techniques adopted must be clearly stated in the beginning of the report in the form of the introduction. So these are the guidelines for the research report writing. Thank you so much.